It might not be official, but the Rangers takeover deal with USA investors has been agreed in principle, at least according to the Scottish Sun. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Today we're going to be looking at an article from the Scottish Sun written by Ryan Rowe, who is a senior online sports journalist, and he is claiming that a deal has been agreed in principle between Rangers and the American consortium who wants to take over the club. Now, we've heard all the rumours over the past couple of weeks actually, that San Francisco 49ers and Rangers were going to be in cahoots. San Francisco wanted to invest in Rangers, they wanted to take over Rangers. But now, according to the Scottish Sun, the deal has been agreed in principle. Now, that doesn't mean that it's official, but it pretty much means that it's going to happen. It pretty much means that it's a handshake agreement and that it is only a matter of time before the deal is made official. So, the article reads as follows, quote, "A deal has been agreed in principle between Rangers and the American consortium who wants to take over the club. Patrick Maraf of 49ers Enterprises, the business arm of the San Francisco 49ers, has been engaged in talks with Ibrox Power Brokers for some time now over his potential investment, working alongside insurance tycoon Andrew Kavanagh. Maraf and the 49ers, who also own Leeds United, but with the EFL and the SFA unlikely to stand in their way, a deal for them to complete a stunning takeover of the Glasgow Giants has been agreed. Kavanagh is the chairman of health firm Pareto Health, and he and Maraf are aiming to acquire a controlling stake in Gers of around 51%. It's understood that all parties are confident the deal will be agreed before the start of the new season. All that remains now is for due diligence to take place and legal paperwork to be drafted up, though the SFA and the EFL consent will be required to rubber stamp any proposal. Current Gers shareholders Dave King and John Bennett have already agreed to sell up, with a view to welcoming the Americans on board. Fellow directors Douglas Park, George Taylor, Stuart Gibson, Julian Holhart and John Halstead could all be convinced to sell their shares too. Halstead and non-executive director Alistair Johnston have ties to the US, and they have been crucial in talks getting to this stage. Maraf has been with the NFL Giants for 24 years and has a close relationship with its billionaire chief Jed York. The franchise was valued at around $6 billion by Forbes recently and has won 5 Super Bowl titles in its history. The last of those wins came prior to Maraf's involvement, but the team has reached the Super Bowl 3 times since he has been a key decision maker. End of quote. Now, could go on here and talk about the San Francisco 49ers, but I mean, who cares? I don't get it. It doesn't really matter how many Super Bowls this franchise has won. Now, people could say it's a sign of good management and whatnot, but just because you're successful as an NFL owner, that doesn't mean that you're going to be automatically successful in football. And the other way about, you could be a failed NFL owner, and that doesn't mean that you're going to fail as a football owner. So, I mean, just because San Francisco have had a lot of success or either no success, that's irrelevant. What is relevant though is the fact that there will be money coming into Rangers, so they will be able to actually become a financial powerhouse, at least to the level of Scottish football, and we're going to probably see Rangers now be at least able to compete with Celtic financially if this deal does go through, which it should. So look, yeah, San Francisco, some people are saying, well, they haven't won any trophy since 1994. I mean, that doesn't really matter. People that don't really understand how the NFL works, you have like salary caps and all this. It doesn't necessarily matter how much money you have in the NFL. You've got your trades, your salary caps. You have to draft in players. They've got an NFL draft at the start of the season. And when you look at the NFL, you do tend to find that, the same teams don't always stay on top. They seem to have cycles of great periods. And if you look at it, like, teams will have a clunk of seasons like a batch of seasons where they're really good and then they have to rebuild again, and it's not the same thing. You've got 32 teams in the NFL, but realistically, all 32 of them can win a Super Bowl. You look at Scotland, and realistically, there's only 2 teams with a chance, and in recent years, there's only been 1 team with a chance, really, with Rangers, having that puncher's chance. So, yeah, like, just because you're not successful in NFL, just because this San Francisco team hasn't won nothing in the last 30 plus years, that doesn't mean that they ain't going to be successful with Rangers. Anyone who thinks that is delusional. It doesn't really mean anything. Like, in NFL, you just cannot go out and spend. There is no like transfer market. You cannot go out and spend $500 million or whatnot and get ahead of all the teams. It just doesn't work like that. So, yeah. Basically, that's that. People sometimes just look at they draw comparisons between the success of an NFL team that is going to be owned by the same owners, and it's like, no. Even if San Francisco had won the last 10 Super Bowls in a row, that doesn't mean that Rangers are going to be successful. So, is what it is. But yeah, this deal looks like it's going to happen. It's going to be agreed at the start of the season, and it should be interesting. It should be. I mean, on one side, it will make Rangers closer to Celtic, so we should have a closer title fight, which is good. But on the other side, it's going to pull Rangers further away from, the chasing pack, and it's just going to solidify probably that Scottish football is a 2-team league in terms of at least competing for the top prize. And it's just you see Rangers the way they're struggling right now. You feel like if anyone could finish ahead of Rangers, if anyone could split the Old Firm, you do feel like right now is about the time it could happen. Obviously, it's not going to happen this season, but you look at how good Hibs have been in the second half of the season. You look at how good Aberdeen were in like the first third of the season. And both of those teams have showed form that is good enough, I think, to actually split the Old Firm. They just haven't done it consistently. If Aberdeen didn't fall off the edge of a cliff, they could be second this season. If Hibernian didn't get such a shite start to the season, they could have been second this season. So we're seeing that it's possible, but I just think with this deal coming in, it's just going to put Rangers further ahead, and it means that everyone else is probably, once again, going to be fighting for third place at best, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, yeah, the deal has been agreed in principle. It's not official yet, but I imagine that it will be within the next, 3 to 4 months. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But, alright, San Francisco and Rangers looking like it's going to be, a partnership in the near future. Let us know your thoughts down below. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, though, peace.